The news is full of geopolitical tension and diplomatic breakthroughs. But what if there is a mathematical framework behind it all? We are diving deep into game theory to reveal how India navigates nuclear policy and complex foreign relations using principles like prisoner's dilemma and tit-for-tat. In this video, we will explore how game theory, especially the prisoner's dilemma and the tit-for-tat strategy, shapes India's nuclear policy and foreign diplomacy. You will see how mathematical logic helps nations make real-world decisions, sometimes between peace and destruction. Let's start with the basic, because understanding this core concept is crucial. The prisoner's dilemma is a classic game theory example that helps us understand strategic choices. Imagine this: two criminals are arrested for a minor crime, but the police suspect them of a more serious one. They are integrated in a separate rooms with no way to communicate. Here are the options presented to each. If one betrays the other and the other stays silent, the betrayer walk free and the silent one serves a long sentence, say 10 years. If both betray each other, the both gets a moderate punishment, maybe 5 years each. But if both stay silent, they get the lightest sentence for the minor crime, perhaps just 1 year each. The dilemma: trust or betray. Logically, from an individual perspective, betraying seems like the safest bet, as it minimizes the personal risk. But if both think that way, they end up worse off than if they had cooperated. It's a paradox of rationality. This is where the tit for tat strategy comes in. It's an incredibly powerful, yet surprisingly simple strategy for repeated prisoner dilemma games. Here how it works. First move: you always start by cooperating. You extend an olive branch. Subsequent moves: then you simply copy your opponent's last move. If they betray you in the last round, you betray them in the next. If they cooperated, you cooperated too. It builds trust over time because you consistently reward cooperation, but it also punishes betrayal immediately and consistently. Now, let's apply that to something with truly global stake: India nuclear doctrine. India follows a no first use policy. This means India explicitly states it will not launch nuclear weapons unless it is the first attack with them. It's a voluntary restraint. This policy mirrors the prisoner's dilemma in terrifyingly real way. Consider the nuclear arsenal held by both India and Pakistan. If one nation were to strike first, it would likely provoke a devastating retaliation, leading to mutual destruction. Both sides lose catastrophically. But if the both nations hold back, peace remains, and the immense human and economic cost of nuclear war are avoided. India's no first use policy signals its intention to cooperate in the high stake game. Pakistan's knowing India won't strike first, it less likely to feel compelled to launch a preemptive strike out of fear. India's stand create a crucial element of stability in a volatile region. It's avoid the betrayal first temptation that could lead to catastrophe of millions. Now, let's talk about diplomacy and how India had used the tit for tat strategy in its international relationships, especially with neighbors like Pakistan and China. Think about recent history. In December 2015, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a surprise, unannounced visit to Lahore, Pakistan, to meet with his counterpart Nawaz Sharif. This was a bold gesture of cooperation, a clear first move of peace and engagement. But soon after this spirit of cooperation was severely tested. We saw a devastating terrorist attack like one at the Patankot Air Force Station in January 2016 and the Uri attack in September 2016. These were the clear act of betrayal from group operating from Pakistani soil. How did India respond? Not just with the word, but with the decisive action. India conducted surgical strike across the line of control. targeting terrorist launchpad. This was followed by the strong international messaging, isolating Pakistan on the issue of terrorism. This is an tit-for-tat in action. India tried cooperation first, then responded firmly. When that cooperation was violated, it is a careful balance, showing a clear willingness to engage and cooperate, but also demonstrating undeniable strength and resolve in retaliation. Over a time, this consistent approach sends a powerful message. Betrayal has a significant cost, and India will not tolerate it. We have seen similar pattern with China. Sometimes it's intense diplomatic engagement and economic cooperation. Other time, it's a firm border defense and strategic alliance in response to pursued aggression. India's foreign policy is a dynamic application of game theory principles, from nuclear standoff that could end civilization of peace, talks, and economic agreements. Game theory is a far more than just an academic exercise. It's a powerful lens through which to understand global strategy and national decision making. India's choices, from its nuclear no first use policy to its pragmatic and responsive diplomacy, vividly demonstrate how mathematical logic, trust, and deterrence intricately shape the survival of the prosperity of nation.